Hello everyone, it's Annette with ASCardDesign. Welcome back to another Wednesday Night Live. I am really out of my comfort zone tonight. So tonight we're going to make a handmade card. I'm going to do some watercoloring. I am definitely out of my comfort zone. I'm sitting down. I normally stand when I'm crafting, so this feels very odd to me to sit down. And I had to adjust my cameras since I'm sitting, so the view might be a little bit different. But anyway, I'm going to be doing some watercoloring live, and I've never done that before. I'm going to share a story here in a minute, but what got me started with watercoloring recently is I started Lisa Hetrick. I just want to give a shout out to her YouTube channel. Now, Lisa Hetrick, if you watch Gina K Designs YouTube channel, you know every month or so she has a release night, and Lisa Hetrick is one of her designers that creates beautiful stamps, and she has a YouTube channel, and she's really good at watercoloring. And I don't know why. I've been watching Gina K for a couple years, and I watch Lisa and all the other designers and how they, share their projects and their inspiration. But I don't know why I never checked out the YouTube channel, but I did recently. And I was blown away with her teaching style, and she kind of reignited that spark to get my watercolors out and just give it a try. And so if it works out during my schedule, I can hop on her live as she's doing her teaching, or sometimes I just have to watch the replay. But I put a link to her YouTube channel in my description below. It's Lisa Hetrick Indigo Jade Art. So check out her YouTube channel. She's just really good at teaching. She has a very nice teaching style, and she makes it very approachable. Hi, Janet. Oh, you finally made a live. Very excited. South Africa, 1 a.m. Bless your soul to be up that late. I'd be sawing logs. Although I've been up since 2:30 this morning because I couldn't sleep last night. But anyway, so yeah, check out Lisa's YouTube channel. Descriptions below. But I want to share, let's see, back in 2000, I'm sorry, back even further than that, about 1994 or so, I wanted to learn how to watercolor. So I'm going to switch down to the desktop because you got to see this because I still have these supplies. So back in 94, I bought, I don't know where I got them. I probably got them online or at a local store, but I bought these watercolor cards and envelopes and this set of Cotman watercolors. And they're from Winsor & Newton. I didn't even know anything about the brand, but I come to know that they're a good brand. But I bought this little set. It was buy 5 tubes, get 1 free. And these were my colors. And I bought these, I don't know if they're still available or not, but I bought these little envelopes and these pre-made, I don't want to show you that. Well, I guess you're going to see it, pre-made little note cards. So back in in the mid-90s, I was interested in paper crafting. Who knew? And here I am today. But this is what I did back then, and I really enjoyed it. I don't know how I did it, honestly, but because I didn't watch YouTube back then. So anyway, I did it for a little bit, and I put them away in a drawer, and they've been sitting there ever since yesterday when I pulled them back out. And then, so that's that. I'll put those away later. And then fast forward to about 2006, something like that. It was before I started making cards. I wanted to revisit watercoloring again. So I went out to Michael's and I got this watercolor pad, Artist Loft. It's, very cost effective. Bought one of these. I actually bought a couple of these because I have 2. And then I bought, well, I didn't buy all of these. These were gifts. So here I am. I went down a rabbit hole. This was a birthday gift. This was a birthday gift from my brother Mike, who made a card recently. So if you haven't seen that video, check that out later. These are really pretty, like iridescent watercolors. I bought this set for myself. These were good. I thought, well, maybe this will get me to watercolor because these were nice little pan sets. And you can see I swatched them out. I have very good intentions, right? And so I did that. and, you know, bought some tube paints. I even bought some, I don't have it with me, but just real, the Crayola color, watercolor palettes, just anything inexpensive just to get me started. But did I do it? No, I did not. I tried. I worked on it a little bit, but I just didn't have, oh, hang on, I gotta put those on the floor. I just didn't have any good instruction. I tried some other channels on YouTube just to kind of find some tutorials, but you know, it really does take sometimes the right instructor or right teacher, if you will. But anyway, I watched Lisa Hetrick, and her style spoke to me, and I did a couple watercolor tutorials with her and one on her replay, and it just kind of re-sparked my desire to get into some watercoloring. So tonight I'm going to be really brave and try this online or on a live. And I kind of feel like, have you ever had that feeling if you've ever jumped on a trampoline and, you know, you're jumping and you kind of get too high and then you kind of lose your balance and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to land. That's how I feel right now. It's exactly how I feel right now. And if you've ever been on a trampoline, you know. Okay, so one more story to share and then we'll get started. So this paper pad is, we're going to use this paper today. And then as soon as I show you this, I'm going to show you some samples and then we'll get into this. Because it really won't take too long to do the project. But I'm embarrassed to say this was a Christmas gift 3 years ago. And I just opened it last night. I just opened it last night because I wasn't even sure what to do with it. It seemed very high-end watercolor, like the real deal, way beyond my skill level. So it sat in the cellophane wrapper and I never opened it. So I opened it, and it also came with this tool, which I had no idea what to do with, but it's even in a different language. But good old ChatGPT, I took a picture of it, popped it in, and I said, what does this say? And it told me exactly what this was. But this tool you need with these kind of pads. So this is 100% cotton, acid-free, cold press watercolor paper. And this pad is glued on all four sides. Okay, this is just a protective sheet, but it's glued all the way around. And the idea is you can watercolor, because when you add water to this paper, it can curl. But you would watercolor on this, and then when you're done, you release the paper with this tool. But I am not going to watercolor on this pad. So I'm just going to show you. So it says here, this is the open here. So even though it's glued, you can find a little opening, and you just wedge that in carefully and slowly. I just found this out today, guys. Now, this is probably not news to many of you, but I just discovered this today. And then you can tear it off. And that's the piece we're going to use, because I need to cut this, and then we're going to emboss this with our design that we're going to watercolor. So anyway, that's my story. I wanted to share a story. I just purchased, Gianna, okay, you just purchased some watercolors. Haven't used them yet. New venture for me. Yeah, it's really scary. And I have the, the tube paints and the pan paints, and watercoloring is just so beautiful. I'm still struggling with the amount of water. So for that reason, I am going to be using, I'm going to pull these in. I'm going to be using these watercolor pencils. Let me see if I can come in a little bit closer. These are watercolor pencils by Distress, and they have a bunch of different sets. These were also Christmas gifts a couple years ago, but I am starting to use these a little bit more and more. So this is their watercolor pencil set 1 and set 2, and I just really liked these colors, and they coincide with the Distress inks and oxide colors. So by Ranger. So I'm going to use set 1, I believe, because I want to use this picked raspberry and mustard seed, because I want my flower to be pink and yellow, I think. And for the leaves, I don't know. I like to do blues and greens for the leaves. So that's my thought. So I'm going to put this one away. I might pull something out of there later, but we'll start with this. But first I need to cut my I need to cut my paper down. So let me bring in, I'm gonna have to pan out a little bit. It feels so weird to sit and craft. I like to stand, but I didn't think I could stand in watercolor. So here, let me get something here. Okay, so I want to just cut my panel before I run it through the embossing folder that I'll show you here in a second. So we want our panel to be 3 and I think it's really hard for you to see that, right? Because of the lighting. Anyway, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going 3 3/4 inches. Okay. And we're gonna go by 5. 3 3/4 inches by 5. All right, and then we're done with that trimmer. Let me get that out of the way. And then we'll save the scraps for another day. And then you can also use the Simon Says Stamp A2 rectangles if you wanted to die cut out your panels and your matte layers. But I hand cut mine today, but I wanted to show you that. Set that aside. And so the embossing folder we're going to use is this bundle from Gina K Designs. And it's the Gorgeous Bloom bundle. And it's it has the 3D embossing folder and a big die. So you could cut out, I'm not going to use this tonight, but you could cut out a piece of cardstock and put it in here, emboss it, and then you could layer it onto your project to give it a little bit dimension. But we're not going to use the die. We are going to use the folder, but the bundle also comes with these layering stencils to color in your embossed image with, you know, blending ink over it, which is what I love to do, but I'm not doing that tonight. I'm going to be watercoloring, so we'll see. We'll see where I land. Right now I'm on that trampoline, jumping really high, not sure where I'm gonna land. Okay, so I am gonna have to stand for this. Hold on. I'm gonna bring in I'm gonna have to zoom out a little bit. I'm gonna bring in my Gina K Intricate die cutting machine. Oh, I want to thank everybody for joining. I'm glad you're here tonight to see me. I don't know. I think it'll come out okay. I've done this a few times now, and each time comes out different. So we'll see. All right. So here on the embossing folder, I'm just looking for that raised side, and then this side is kind of indented in, and this is pressed up. I want this on the bottom of my cardstock or my paper, and I'm just positioning it. I feel like, did I cut that wrong? Hang on a second. Nope, that's right. I felt like I measured it wrong, but I didn't. 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, so I'm just going to position this on the folder, something like that, and then we'll run it through. I'm going to run it through twice because I want a really good deep impression. Gosh, you can probably hear my whole desk rattling. And I'm going to run it through one more time. This is a very beautiful bloom, but you can do this with any embossing folder that you have. Any design, any shape. Okay, let's go ahead and... Oh, this has suction. Hang on. Good grief. There we go. It's late in the day and I'm weak. Although it's not as late as 1 a.m. in South Africa. Okay. Let's bring you back in a little bit closer. And get this out of here. There we go. Isn't that gorgeous? Honestly, this is so pretty. You don't even have to do anything else. You could just put this on a matte layer and slap it on a card with a greeting and it would look beautiful just like it is. But that's not what I intended to do today. So let's go ahead and I'm going to add my watercolor pencils on like Lisa taught me in her live stream a couple weeks ago now. So I'm just going to kind of duplicate the method she did, and we'll see. We'll just see how it goes. So I'm using the picked raspberry and mustard seed. Okay. And what I'm going to do is, this is my darker color. So wherever the petals meet, like inside the flower, I'm going to go with the dark color because that'll be like a shadow, a darker layer. So all I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it for the whole flower before I add any water. So I'm just going to kind of, this is so scary. Oh, I'm just going to add my color and just color it in a little bit. I'm going to bring this down just a little bit. Okay, and then I'm just going to do that all the way around. What kind of watercolors did you get, Janet? Did you get like the little pan colors or tubes, or do you have pencils as well? Tim Holtz Distress, they make watercolor crayons too, but I've had these pencils and I thought, you know what, I gotta start using them. So I have no idea what this is going to turn out to look like, but you just got to do it. You just got to try things. Let's see. So let's go in here. I can't really see where that, go this way. Pencils and paint palette. Yeah, I need to practice with my paint palettes. I have, as you saw, I have many, more than a beginner watercoloring person needs, but I have them now, so now there's no excuse, and you just gotta get into it and give it a try. I'm telling myself that more than anybody else. I just couldn't believe it when I followed along with Lisa on her channel. I don't know, it felt less scary than it does right now. I feel like I'm flying my first flight, my first solo flight with no instructor. But you got to start somewhere, right? Let's see what's going on here. This petal looks like it's, you know, curled up, so maybe we'll just add some color here. And again, in the, wherever there's like a natural crease, you can kind of see it coming together. Okay, let's moving on. We're gonna go in here. Bring it up a little bit. And then we'll just do the same all the way around. It would kind of be nice just to leave it the way this is, but let's put a little bit, I think I'm just going to leave it like that and see what happens. And then I'm going to bring in this yellow. So far we have that. Okay, you can kind of see we're just kind of shading out the petals. YouTube is great with tutorials. My go-to, yeah, I agree. Janet, I agree 100%. I learned so much from other crafters. I really do. I get a lot of inspiration because I feel like I'm not a designer and I can't draw anything, but techniques, I love to watch coloring techniques or ink blending techniques and now watercoloring techniques. So I'm just laying this yellow right over that pink and coming out just a little bit. So we'll see what that does. When I add water, we'll see how it blends out. Let's go in here. I'm gonna go all the way around. Everywhere where there's pink, there's going to be yellow. Hopefully I don't miss a spot. Get that up here. Oh, I forgot this little petal right here. Let's go like that. I still watch Bob Ross on PBS. He makes it look easy. Although he's not watercoloring, but just his paintings, I mean. It seems like his paintings are real time if you ever watched those, right? Yeah, I can't draw either. Since I got into card making, I have such an appreciation for all the artists that design the stamps that we use, and like even this embossing folder, like it's really incredible. I'm thankful that somebody's doing it. Yeah, I got up this morning at 2:30 and I just was like, why am I awake? Why can't I get back to sleep? Okay, I'm gonna stop there. Oh no, you know what? I'm gonna do the leaves too. Let's do the leaves. Let's see if I want to do them. I like blues and greens for some reason on leaves, but I don't think I want to do this bright blue. Let me bring in this other. This is the pencil set, the watercolor pencil set 2. And again, all my supplies are listed in the description below, and links to the supplies. They are affiliate links. I do get a little commission, but it's no extra cost to you at all to use the links. It just takes you to the product or the product page. It's just for convenience. I like this color. I like that blue a little bit better than this bright. Let me just put this away, and then I'll tell you the colors. For the leaves, I'm going to use, I love these color names. Peeled Paint. Come on, camera. Oh boy, let's see. There we go. Peeled Paint and Prize Ribbon. I'm sorry, there you go. And again, I want to go with the darker color first, and I'm just going to go up. Actually, you know what? This is just a pencil sharpener. I like to get a nice sharp point on these when I'm trying to get up into the corners. All right, so that's that. This one's sharp enough. Okay, so let's go in with Prize Ribbon. And I have a feeling, this is coming in really dark. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to map out this leaf. Maybe bring the color down a little bit. I'll do this one. This one. This is relaxing, I will have to say. If nothing else, it's relaxing. I should be able to sleep good tonight. Oh, the other thing, I know it sounds like I'm really promoting Lisa's channel, but I kind of am, because what's really nice about Lisa Hetrick's YouTube channel is when she does her live tutorials, she usually includes a free printable of whatever project she's working on, and you can print it on watercolor paper, which is what I did, or cardstock, and then you can follow along. Now I tried this on cardstock and it works, but the more water you add, you just have to be careful, because my cardstock, I was using the ASCardDesign 110-pound cardstock, and it did start breaking down the fibers just a little bit towards the end of my project, but the other watercolor papers worked just fine, and we'll see. Now this is the real fancy paper right here, so we'll see how this does. So there are my leaves. I'm just gonna, I actually like the way that looks, just like that. But now comes the scary part. Scary part. All right, I'm bringing in my little paintbrushes, just various paintbrushes. You can use any kind of brushes, and I think I'm going to go with this one, which is a number 5. I'll do that. Oh wait, you know what? I'm not done with the leaves. I forgot to add the green. Let's go ahead and just add some green. It's probably going to turn to mud. I don't know. Does blue and green make mud when it's wet? Could. I don't have my color wheel. I don't have that handy, but does anybody know that in the chat? Because I could have just ruined this totally right now, but that's okay. If it ruins, I'll just chop it and crop just the flower. But my 2 favorite colors are blue and green, so I hope they play well together when they become wet. All right, so I have a little pot of water, and isn't this cute? This is an old yogurt cup. So, you know, it's just repurposed. And I need a paper towel. Get these pencil boxes out of the way. At the end, I'll show you my other practice pieces that I did that I used cardstock on one, and then the other Michael's watercolor paper. So I'll show you the difference. And I just lost my screen, so I don't know what's happening here. I hope you can see me. There we go. My goodness, something's happening to my computer. Hang on. There we go. I hope you can still see me. Thumbs up if you can. My screen just went like gray, like a snowy, like the old TV sets did. So hopefully I'm still with you. I can see you and I can see everybody now. All right, so I'm getting my paintbrush wet. Yeah, good. Thanks. Thanks, Janet. All right, so I don't want to go in with a ton of water, but what I'm going to do is wet my brush, and then I just want to kind of scrub the color and just get it to activate. Activate that color. Okay, just like that. And then I can blend it out. And if you have too much water, your brush will soak it up. Just dab it on your paper towel. And, there's really no right or wrong. You can leave that, that line just kind of blends out. And just like that, we have a petal done. Now, if I want to put some of this picked raspberry on the tips, I can just pick it up and just kind of dab it in, and it'll shade it. It's fairly subtle, but you can see. You can see that shading. And then, that's the name of the game. We're just going to go all around and do the petals. Just scrubbing in the color. And just take your time with it. I found when I was rushing with the other samples, it just didn't work. Did not work. Everything got real messy. And then this flower, this petal, you can see it kind of curls up on itself. So when it curls up like that, the very tip, the inside tip, is going to be white in nature. So I'm just going along the outer edge just to give it a little shading. And we'll see how that goes when it dries. Hi, Anne Marie. Yeah, Janet, I know. Isn't this cool? I'm telling you, it really got me back into my watercolors. I'm glad they were just sitting in a drawer, just patiently waiting for me. Just waiting for me to figure out how I was going to do it, and then it all worked out. Let's go to this big one here, because I want to see what this looks like. So again, I find this blends out better if I activate, just get that brush in there and just let it set to activate that paint. Instead of just trying to, at first I was just trying to blend it, and it needs the water. Watercolor needs water to move. Gotta have that movement. And I'm just gonna pull that down like that. And that's what it's looking like so far. We'll see. I'm still not sold on the leaves, the blue and the green. Once those get wet, if they're gonna blend well together, we'll see. But I really like how Lisa taught, you know, to put that darker color down and then the lighter color, like I did the what was that? The picked raspberry and then the mustard seed. You know, put that lighter color right on top and blend it out. The paint does all the work for you. But so far, I'm going to have to say this paper, this very, very artsy paper is working really nice. But that Michael's paper worked fine. I can see the difference though on these pads that are glued. And this, so far, I'm not using a whole lot of water, so it's not warping a whole lot. I'm going to come back in a little bit here. And I have some of that pink on my brush, so I'm gonna come in a little bit on that side again. But yeah, I can see a difference. It's blending out real nice and easy. All right. I'm not sure what I'm going to do in the middle. Any thoughts on what color I should make the center? Should I go like black or... Oh, Anne Marie, I'm telling you, I'm glad I'm inspiring you. That's very flattering. But like I said in the beginning, I don't know if you were here, but Lisa Hetrick, I put the link to her YouTube channel. She's the one that inspired me because I just need... When I'm learning something new, I just keep looking and looking till I find somebody that's speaking my language. It explains things, you know, in a way that I understand. And she is a true artist. I'm not. I'm still jumping on the trampoline. I'm in the air. I'm not sure where I'm going to land. But just having somebody who is skilled teach. And you... Like it was mentioned earlier, YouTube, you know, you can find anything on YouTube now. Excuse me. I actually did, starting Monday, I told myself I'm going to start doing a little bit more movement in the morning. So I put on a YouTube video on Tai Chi. I've never done that before, and it wasn't what I thought. I don't know. I thought I was going to be doing karate or something. I don't know what I thought. But I put this 7-minute Tai Chi morning routine on and I did it and I felt amazing afterwards. It was just very simple. It was easier than yoga for me, but I don't know. It felt really good. So I did it Monday morning, Tuesday morning, and this morning. So hopefully I can keep that up because I do need to get a little bit more movement in my routine. Anyway, just scrubbing. I call this scrubbing. I'm not sure if that's the technical term, but scrubbing the water into the paint and then blending it out. And I want it a little bit lighter as I go out, so I'm just going to take the water off of my paintbrush and it'll absorb it. It'll absorb the paint back into the brush and then you can, that I do know they call lifting. You can lift it. This is looking a little shaggy down there, but that's okay. To me, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. For me, it doesn't. It just needs to be, you know, it just needs to resemble something, and then it just works. It just works. All right, I'm going to get some water down in here just to blend those harsh lines a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, I hope you do try this, Anne Marie. And you know, if you guys do try anything that you see on my channel, and I don't care if you copy me, I really don't. Like, you can do something similar. You can do the exact same thing. That does not bother me. But tag me. Just do like at ASCardDesign on your, if you're on like Instagram or Facebook, and I'll see it. I'd love to see what you guys do. All right, what did I do here? I didn't put any watercolor pencil on this, but I can just blend out some of this color and it'll work. All right, we got a couple more petals. Let's do this one. And I didn't do anything on that, so we're gonna have to address that too. So let's just see. Maybe I have some carryover color because it looks like I have a lot of pigment here. We'll just put the yellow on the inside, and then let's see. Maybe just down here. Make it kind of light. Yeah, that works. Look at that. This is coming out better than I thought. But I'm not done yet, so I better not get too comfortable in that. Okay, let's look at this last petal, and then we are gonna jump down to the leaves and see what happens. Okay. And then I'm just kind of seeing where there's any white space that I missed, like right in here, and whatever paint is on my brush can fill that in. And I want to get down in here too. Okay. All right. That's what we have. Can you move it up a bit? You mean closer to the camera? Zoom in? What would be helpful for you, Anne Marie? That's the zoomiest in I can get. Does that help? Let me know. I see you out there. Okay. Let's go to the leaves. Maybe I was off screen, and if that does happen, and I apologize. So, okay, let's see. Let's see what happens here. I'm just scrubbing again. Well, they're not making brown, so that's good. I got a lot of water on my brush, so I'm going to be careful. And I might even leave some of these lines, you know, veiny, not blend them all out. I do want to soften this up a little bit. Wow, I kind of like that saturated color. I'm not going to lift it too much. I'm going to just leave that like that. You were down at the bottom of the screen. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. I tend to do that. So thank you. All right. So blue and green blend well together. I'm happy about that. So let's just finish these, and then we'll do some ink splattering. I'm going to put some gold and white spatters on this, and then we're going to dry it with a heat tool. Kind of lost the definition of that one leaf, but that's okay. Well, I'm going to keep that over there. Let's do this other big leaf. Yeah, months and months ago, somebody was watching and they asked me if I would do watercolors. And I was like, no. But I said I would try one day. And I don't know who that was, but hopefully if they ever are watching, here we go. They wanted some watercolor card ideas, so that's what I'm doing tonight. That was a scary proposition when I first heard it, let me tell you. All right, my brush has a lot of paint or a lot of water on it, so I'm not dipping it, but I am going to dry it on my paper towel a little bit. Okay, there's a little leaf right there. And then we just have this one. And then we got to do, I know, Janet, she, did you watch her live last night? She pulled that stamp out. I don't have that stamp set either. I do like that Splatter stamp. She made a really pretty fun fold card last night. But I do have a lot of her products, but I don't have that stamp set she used. I just recently found out that on her website, when you create a wish list, that you can share it. I mean, it was always there. I just never noticed it. But you can share your wish list. So I shared it with family at Christmas time. And that's how I got my intercut machine. I got that as a Christmas present. So, yeah. Yeah. I'm usually always on her Tuesday night lives because that works out for me. Although last Tuesday, I fell asleep during it. After working all day, I don't know. But Tom's word of the day, wasn't that funny last night? Dublin. That was hilarious. I laughed. Very, very funny. He's very clever. Okay. I don't know what color to make that. I'm thinking like dark, like black. What do you guys think? Thank you. Or, let's see. I have like a browns. I have walnut stain or black soot. I could even do I can go in with the same picked raspberry to bring in the pink again. Dark. Okay. I was thinking dark too. So here's the thing. It's going to have a black matte layer. So I'm thinking black soot. Right? What do you think? I think so. We'll see. I think I need to go less is more here because once I add the water, it'll bleed out. So let's try some of the black soot. Okay. Camera focus. There we go. And this is already really dry up here. So I'm just going to make sure I'm in screen. I'm going to just put some black soot on these little, I guess you call them stamens in the flower here. Black would be good. Okay. And then I'll just bring it down. I'm going to go kind of dark on the raised areas and we'll see what happens. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to be very, very cautious here. And then I'm bringing in a smaller brush. This is a number 2 round. Okay. All these brushes are rounds. And I wet my brush. I'm going to be very careful here because I just don't want it to become a black glob. But I do want it to blend out just a little bit. I actually think that looks good. I don't think I would do anything more to that. All right. Now, one other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in this, what color did I use for that? No. Did I use prized ribbon? Yeah. I'm going to try something. I'm going to just try to bring in a little bit of color. I just have a ceramic dish and I'm just going to put a little bit of color down. And then I'm going to take, let's take this number 6 brush. I know it looks like it's kind of dark. I have lights all around me, each side and overhead. And anyway, I'm wetting my brush. Okay, I dipped it in my water and I'm going to just water that down. I want it really, really watered down because I'm just going to add like a sky. I want a lot of water though. I just really want it to be a wash, not really anything dark. Just real subtle. I mean, it can be darker in some spots in the corners, but just to tone it down a little bit. I feel like I'm really going off the charts here now. And if I'm off camera, I'm sorry. I'm going to try to get that back in shot there. Okay. And I'm leaving some white space around that flower, but that's all I'm going to do to it as far as coloring. And you probably won't be able to see it, but I think you can see that blue shading just in the background. It's really soft. Okay, well, I think the scary part's over for me for right now. So let's go ahead and let's do some splatting, and then we'll put the card together. And then I'm going to show you a comparison of papers, and then we'll be done. Okay, so let's get this stuff out of the way. And it feels so weird to be sitting and crafting. Totally not normally what I do. Here's my little splat box. I'm going to zoom out. And it might be kind of hard to see, but this is the best I can do. And I'm going to do Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. And also Simon Says Stamp Positively Perfect Gold Splatter Medium. This is all ready to go. You just give it a little shake, and then I'm going to bring in my dish again. I wiped it out, and what brush do I want to use for the splats? Let's do this. And I'm going to bring in a little bottle of water. So let's start with something else. I do need a paper towel because this bleed proof white, you do have to mix it up. It's very old. I've had this since oh gosh, I probably had this about, I don't know, 4 years. It's really kind of crusty inside, but I just, if it dries out, just add water. Just add some water, and it doesn't take a lot. Okay. And it gets everywhere, so I'm just being careful here. All right, so let me just cap this up and get it out of my way. All right, so I'll do the best I can to have you see. I'm just gonna add a little water in here and wet that, get it super loose so it'll splat. I think I can add a little bit more. And I'm just going to go a little bit. I'm going to splat off first. I'll bring it up to the camera here in a minute. Okay. I always got to tell myself, less is more, less is more. And there you can see some spatter. Okay, and then we're going to add some gold spatter next, but I'm going to put this brush in the water and also my little chopstick stirrer. And then I'm going to water that way down and just wipe it out before it becomes hardened. Okay. And then I'm going to get a different brush. Number 6 round. That might be kind of big. Let's see. Well, I'll make it work. I'll make it work. I'm going to shake this up again. Oh, that's hard to open. So this is like ready to go. All right. So you just dip your brush in. I kind of like to move it around in the lid just to make sure there's a good amount of paint in there. And again, I'm just going to tap off first. I really don't want big globs. Watch as I say that, it'll happen. I think that's good. I'm gonna stop. Put the paintbrush into the water. I am gonna clean out this because it's just gonna make it harder to open. Let's just clean that out. Okay. And then I'm gonna make sure my hands are nice and clean before I pick up that panel. Hang on. I'm gonna just wipe them off with some alcohol. That's the last thing I need to do right now is pick up this panel and mess it up. Oh, it just feels so weird to sit down. I kind of like it, but whoops, glass on glass. But there's no way I could sit and craft normally. Okay, so that's what we have. That really, let's see if I can get it up to the camera. Down. I'm at a weird angle sitting down, but yeah, that really came out nice. I'm shocked at myself, but you know, I wouldn't have known if I wouldn't have tried. Okay, so I'm gonna just bring in my heat tool and I'm just gonna dry this before I handle it. And then we're gonna glue it down to the mat and we'll make the card. And then we'll do our little comparison. Thanks, Anne-Marie. This shouldn't take long. I'll just do it a little bit and then I'll show you the comparison and then it should all be dried. I'm just gonna flip it. Yeah, this paper was really nice as far as very minimal warping. That looks pretty good. Okay. All right. So let me show you. These were the 2 practice panels that I did. Okay. This turned kind of muddy, but that's okay. I was practicing with pinks and yellows. So let me bring this up. So this had some of that splatter as well. But this embossing folder is amazing. And in this I kind of did similar. Yeah, I used the same colors, but you can see I went a little bit darker, a little heavier handed when I was coloring. So you can get, you know, variations. You can see the difference right there. I kind of like the more vibrant color, but I do like the softer color too. I did not do any ink splattering. So this, these are both, no, this is watercolor paper. So this is the watercolor paper from Michaels, and it held up really, really good. And then this is the Gina K cardstock, and it held up really, really well, except at the very end, some of the fibers started breaking down in here. So I had to, when I was scrubbing, so I had to be very careful. I just had to use less, make sure I was using less water. But you can see I did the blue background, and I like that. And I did not do the blue background on that, but I like it both ways. But thanks, Janet. But yeah, so, and I'm off screen again. Oh, yeah. So anyway, those were the 2 practice ones that I did. And then, you know, each time you do it, they're going to be different. That's just the way it is, you know. Okay, so let's go ahead. I've already cut out my matte layer to 4 inches by 5 1/4. So we'll get that on there. And the greeting I'm using, this stamp set I love it. It's an all at once. I actually used this one. I have 2 all at once. This one's Autumn Cheer, but I used the All Occasion. And again, all the supplies are in the description, but you stamp this one stamp and then there's a die that you purchase separately, which, you know, if you're going to use these stamps, you might as well have the die, but you don't have to. You can cut them out, but this cuts everything out at once. And then what I did was I stamped them in, what did I use? I used the Wow embossing ink, and then I used the Wow polished gold superfine, there we go, the polished gold superfine embossing powder, and then you just cut them out. It cuts them all out at once, and it gives you these lovely shiny greetings. So what I'm going to use is birthday wishes. Okay, so I cut that out. Again, I did the, oh, my camera, there we go. I did the, it's really hard. My camera's having a little mental breakdown. There we go. And then I added a few pieces of scrap cardstock on the back just to give it some dimension. So this is a really nice handy dandy stamp set to have just for that reason. And so let's go ahead. Where's my card base? Here it is. And I just have my white card base. And I think that's it. Oh, and we're going to put some embellishments on it because we got to have a little bit of gemstones. Let's see. Where's my glue? Oh, I already got it out. Okay. All right. Yeah, I love that they're never the same, and it's really nice. No two pieces are alike. Now, I could put some foam tape or a foam sheet on the back of this, but I'm just going to glue it down. I'm gluing it rather heavily, but this paper's thick. But I'm just going to make sure it has some glue on all the raised edges. And then I'm going to pull this down. I'm going to probably be off camera a little bit because I just want to make sure it's centered to the best of my ability. I'm struggling. Hang on. Oh my goodness. That looks good. Come back. It's a little bit bumpy, so what I will do is, I'm going to flip it over, but I will put a book on it when we're done. And then I'll take pictures. I always take pictures, and tomorrow I'll add the pictures onto the YouTube channel on the community page. Oh, and I also wanted to point out, I recently started getting the hype button on my YouTube videos. So I had to look to see, what does that mean? What does it mean? So viewers can hit that hype button. You have up to a week. So it's only going to be there for a week and then it goes away. So it's only on new videos that are a week or less old. But when you hit the hype button, it just tells YouTube, hey, push this out to other people that might like the same kind of content. And so I thought that was kind of cool. So I'm going to start hitting the hype button on other people's videos. Now, I think there's a limit. I can't remember what it said, but I think you can hype 3 videos a week or something like that. But I have to look that up. But yeah, so if you see the hype button, hit the hype. See what happens. And I have other big news. So I mentioned earlier, my brother Mike made a card because we recently hit 1,000 subscribers. So my next goal is 5,000 subscribers. And I have another brother, Jim, who is a fisherman, and we have something fun planned. He's going to come and make a card, and he is on TikTok. So, but he, you know, he does fishing stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun, but he's going to have fun with it. So that'll be when we hit 5,000 subscribers, whenever that is. So that'll be a lot of fun. I love having my brothers down here. Okay, so we're just going to glue the sentiment down. And I think I'm going to go, so you know, you think about the rule of thirds, like you divide this card into thirds, right? The top, the middle, and the bottom. And you know, you could put this, kind of keep that in mind, but I think I'm going to put this right down here. I like it down there on the leaves. On the leaves that I was so worried about. Okay, so we got birthday wishes, and then let's add some of the Gina K, what are these called? Black, gold, and silver gems, or pearls. That's what they call them, pearls. And let's see, where are we going to put these? Let's do I like the medium size and the small ones. So let me pull this down closer. Bring it in a little closer here. All right, so let's go here and put one right on the leaf, and then we'll put, a lot of these are upside down. Let's go over here. No, let's go down below. I always struggle with placement. Do you guys struggle with placement? Oh, thanks, Janet. Yeah, Mike did a good job. For never having done it, or, you know, not really knowing the tools and how everything works, he was a good sport. He had fun. I talked to him today on the phone, and he said he's had a lot of fun doing that. Let's see. I'm trying to get a small one in here. Here we go. That one, and then, well, let's go ahead and do a large one. I think I'm going to just go with that. I like that. All right, let's see. I got new wax tips, so we'll see how well this works. My wax tip, it lasted a good couple years, and then it just disintegrated. Now it does not want to pick these up. Here we go. Yeah, it just fell to pieces, so I had to buy a new one. That just means I was using it, right? It's not just sitting there like my watercolor paints, but that's all going to change. That is changing tonight. And there we go. That's our finished card. Haven't seen the hype button. Well, maybe it comes on after. I don't know. I know it's where the like and the share. You might have to scroll over a little bit, but that's the area where those hype buttons are. I've seen it on some of my like last week when the video after the live, I saw it on there. I'm like, huh, what's this? All right. Is there anything else I wanted to show you? I showed you the samples. I think that's it. So be sure to check Lisa Hetrick's YouTube channel. Again, her link to her channel is below if you like watercoloring. I highly recommend checking her channel out. And her website too. She has a wonderful blog with her printables, the sketches that she does of the flowers that you can watercolor. And those are free. So that's really good. So that's our finished card. And I am pretty happy with the way that came out. So there you go. Take a chance, be brave, go out of your comfort zone, and you can make a watercolor 3D embossed handmade card. All right. All right, you guys, I want to thank everybody for spending some time with me here tonight. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you do that. Make sure you're subscribed. If you're watching the replay, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe. We are shooting for 5,000 now, and then my brother Jim will make a card. I have another idea here for him. So that's it. I hope you all have a beautiful evening. Thank you again for joining, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.